Chris, Jalen got a little time the other night. Was that planned or was that foul trouble related?
It was planned. I mean, we knew that we were going to probably throw him at some point in the game, but obviously foul trouble, gave us the opportunity to do it maybe a little sooner than expected.
How did you think he
did well? Yeah, real well. It's been a while since he's played, so I thought he did a really good job, both offensively and defensively.
Chris, for most of the season, you had played offense in the second half in front of your own bench when you got the choice. You flipped it, I think, for the last maybe couple games or something like that. Are you switching back, and maybe what's sort of the reasoning behind the choice?
It's a little easier to communicate defensive calls with some of the crowd noise and stuff like that. So.
Chris, does the caliber of their ball pressure affect kind of the principles of the flow? Quick decisions, move without the ball, move the ball.
Well, when you don't make quick decisions, you actually invite more pressure. So, counterintuitively to your question, I think you need to force pace, force early decision making, move the ball earlier, just try to loosen them up a bit. So. And
with Ant, used to be the balance was that he would shoot too often and not move the ball off. Does that kind of move to a state where sometimes you may have to encourage him to call his own number more often?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think he's prepared to be super aggressive every single night. I thought he did a good job the other day of finding his teammates. We got to knock down some of those shots, but there are opportunities for him to be more aggressive for himself, and that's how he's wired anyway. So it's usually never takes much to recalibrate. So.
Yeah, Chris, I assume you got or did watch the end of Pacers and Knicks as somebody with invested interest in what's going on. Are you able to watch it for entertainment? Do you watch it analytically? How do you and how do you respond when crazy thing like that happens?
Well, generally, it's hard to watch other games purely for entertainment, even if it's middle of the season and the game has nothing to do. You're always looking at it like a critical eye or those types of things. But that game was pure entertainment for last night. I mean, that was an incredible game. It was amazing, and found myself just kind of like everybody else, just kind of getting caught up in it all, and not paying too much attention to what they were doing specifically, but just enjoying it as a great basketball game, as a great sporting event. So,
after game one, you told us that the way Julius had his production kind of diminished in the second half, it's on you somewhat. Without going totally into the playbook, like what does that look like to try to get him more opportunities? I just
got to direct. We of course have a number of plays that we can direct the ball into his hands. I think he went largely the first 5 or 6 minutes of that quarter and barely touched the ball. And some of that was quick shots elsewhere or, just normal basketball. But it was given how well he had played in the second half. It's just on me to get him reestablished earlier in that third quarter. So.
Mark the other day after game one said that it took the team a little bit of time to adjust to the fact that they weren't playing Denver anymore after a 7-game series. How do you feel like your team has, adjusted to the defensive personnel of this Thunder team? Yeah,
honestly, much is made about every series when you go into it, how everyone will match up, what the teams look like, what they've done, where they've come from, all that. But the single biggest thing you can say about game ones for the most part is it's a huge feeling out process for both teams, whether it's Mark's assessment on his team or ours, just trying to adjust to a new opponent and a new style of play too, and that's just I think normal, and now game two and we know what to expect, and we got to be better, So.